senior edition of the Augustana Observer Podcast. I'm your host, Jaren Smith, and I'd like to give my guests a chance to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Marissa Milone. I am a senior here at Augustana College, graduating in exactly 1 month from today. Super scary. But I will be graduating with a double major in secondary English education, middle grades education, and a minor in creative writing.
That's a lot.
It is.
And my name is Emily Luming. I'm also a senior, graduating on May 27th. I'll be graduating with a degree in communication sciences and disorders and Spanish for professional use with a minor in linguistics. So also very exciting stuff.
That is also a lot. Shout out to the both of you. So my first question to get us started is, like Marissa said, it's 1 month until the both of you graduate. Talk to me about what's going through your mind about being so close, but yet so far from graduation.
You want to go?
Sure, I'll go. I'm feeling a lot of feelings because my time here at Augustana College, I feel like, has defined me. I came into college very unsure of who I was, where I wanted my life to be, like on what direction I was going into. And through the people I met here, the classes I took, the professors I met, and more specifically, the clubs that I decided to join, I became more sure of myself, more confident, more comfortable in my own skin, and comfortable in my ability to, be a teacher and really enforce my passion for English and literature and dancing.
Yeah, for me, I think every day I keep thinking about that fact that it's going to be the end of a chapter. So yeah, I echo completely what Marissa said, but it's also just I know that there will be no other space like Augustana College undergraduate for me after this, and that's just how life is. So just waking up and trying to make as many memories as I can before this last month is up has been on my mind, and that's kind of the big feelings I'm going through right now.
It's absolutely a very bittersweet moment because, just like Emily said, this is the end of a chapter and making all the moments count while also facing towards the future. So definitely bittersweet.
I understand, and I completely get it. But just to dive a little bit more in, during your 4 years, because I know a lot has changed in 4 years, COVID being a big factor and everything, but just kind of talk to me about some of your experiences at Augie, whether it be through extracurriculars, your majors, whatever story you want to tell.
Cool. Yeah. I've had so many experiences here, and they've been so diverse, and I think that's been a huge part of my growth as a student and person. I ended up being a reading writing center tutor for 3 years, which really shaped how I want to approach my future career in speech language pathology even. So I would say that experience has been one of my best Augie experiences. And I know Marissa will touch on this too because this is a space that we share, but I'm also a part of UNYK Multicultural Dance Troupe. And I've also been a part of that for 3 years. Freshman year was a little rough, but that's okay. But the past 3 years with this particular dance troupe, which prioritizes and focuses on inclusion and accessibility of dance to everyone, no matter who you are, has also been just instrumental in my own self-confidence, and just a great space to have fun and unwind and relax, and just build a community with people with a shared interest. So
100%. I think that the most pivotal part of my experience here at Augustana was shaped by the UNYK Multicultural Dance Troupe, because I didn't feel comfortable as a dancer before coming here. And I was also in UNYK for 3 years because freshman year was kind of crazy. But following that, I found the group of people that I wanted to spend the rest of my time here with. And even graduating, I know these are the people that are going to keep in touch with me and talk to post-grad and just be really great friends. These are the stories and the experiences that you continue to reflect on after you have moved on and moved away from Augustana College because of the warm, comfortable, safe, and supportive environment that UNYK has really comforted me in.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. So.
Oh my gosh, but you did.
I think this is a great segue into my next question is, by my understanding, with both of your freshman years being chaotic, I'm assuming because of COVID-19, but kind of tell me how you both got involved in UNYK.
Oh my gosh, my origin story for UNYK was I joined the spring semester of my sophomore year, which was 2021, I believe. Yes. And I hopped on a Google Meet call because I was interested in joining more extracurriculars at Augie. I wanted to be more involved. I wanted to put myself out there. I wanted to try something new that I didn't think I would get an opportunity to outside of Augie. Mm-hmm. So I joined the Google Meet call because we were all home from COVID or just on J-term break. And immediately there are these friends that have known each other for like going on 2 years, and they're chatting with each other, and I wasn't sure that they would include me, but they did. And just that welcoming space already, not even knowing who I was. And then I saw the dance videos and I got really excited, and just that excitement pushed me. And the first show I remember being in was New Generations, and it was a phenomenal show. It was recorded and we had to wear masks, but I was able to express myself in a way that I have never been able to express myself before because of how including and how accessible, like Emily was saying, to dance that UNYK is. You don't have to have the experience. They help you gain the confidence, and they support you. Even if you know you're not the world's best dancer, you're the best dancer to them. And they make you feel so amazing when you're on that stage giving it your all. They see you for you.
Yeah, for sure. I also kind of was not as much of a confident dancer, even though I grew up dancing. I was in a dance school, which is a bit different than competition. So audition-based dance groups weren't really my thing. Mm-hmm. And I kind of almost tried to join my freshman year, which is funny because I had emailed the email account, but I had spelled UNYK wrong, so the email never went through. And I was so shy that I was like, well, guess they don't want me. So that time had passed, and the following year I was like, okay, maybe I do really want to join this. And so I joined in the fall of 2020, so just a semester before Marissa did. So we've done a lot of shows together. But once I was able to kind of have the courage to put myself out there and be like, okay, I'm going to try this again. I'm trying to put myself out there. I'm a little bit more social, a little bit more extroverted than I was the previous year. Yeah, everything that Marissa said is completely accurate. There's such a culture of care, and a culture of initiating conversations with new people that you don't know, and welcoming new members and welcoming new freshmen. And I think that's so important in spaces that are really community based, because sometimes it can get to the point where you feel like you're an outsider and you feel like you can't push through that barrier. But I feel like a lot of the older dancers have created this culture within UNYK that's very okay, if you don't know this person, go up and introduce yourself, and even if you don't know them, let's find out their name so we can scream their name and encourage them while they're dancing, stuff like that. And that's kind of what really kept me in it, I think, was being so welcomed, even though I was a bit quieter, because I think we do attract a shyer group. There's a good balance, but we do attract quite a bit of people who just love dance but are maybe just a little bit on the more introverted side, and just need that extra support and encouragement. So
I've honestly definitely noticed that we attract introverted people, but then by the time that they're well integrated, just a few dance practices in, you see them grow. And that's one of the most satisfying parts about UNYK, is that you get close to people because you're dancing with them, you're in formations with them, and you're working hard together, and you share that vulnerability with these strangers on campus, and then you become really good friends. And I know our senior graduating group is super close just because, we've danced together for 3 years, going on 3 years. And with the babies, the ones who are going to be taking over UNYK from us, we feel confident and comfortable leaving the group in their hands because it's completely student run, but they're a phenomenal group of people that have only the dancer's best interests in mind, and I could not be more grateful.
That's good to hear. And like, I've been to a couple of the UNYK shows.
Hell yeah.
I went to one, I think the very first show this year. I couldn't make it to the one, I think happened last week now.
Yeah.
A few days ago.
It was Sunday. Oh
yeah.
God.
I unfortunately could not make it to the show on Sunday. But I went to a couple, and like, I realized that like, I may not know a lot of people a part of UNYK off the top of my head, besides for the two of you. I can think of one other person that stands out on top of my head, but like, just in general, just like the energy from like the few shows that I saw, it's like, wow, like did not expect this, because it definitely was my first time ever seeing like a dance show. I don't know the official way to call it, but I definitely enjoyed myself. I thought it was really cool, and it's like I know myself, like I'm in a dance class currently. I know I'm not the best dancer. I make jokes, like make fun of myself. It just makes me feel better about it. But I was gonna say, I can tell how fun that everyone has being a part of UNYK. But my next question, this might be a little harder to answer. What would you say one of your favorite memories being a part of UNYK is?
I feel like we're going to have similar answers, but
I think so too. You go first.
I was just gonna say Tech Week.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, so every semester we have one show per semester, and the week before that show we have rehearsals every single night. And a lot of our dancers are in multiple dances, and all those rehearsals for each dance run one after the other. So it's like 4 hours of running through dances, usually in Centennial Hall, which is kind of on the corner of campus. So a lot of us like hang out even when we're not rehearsing. We'll stay in that building, and it's just such a good bonding experience, I think, for all the dancers, especially since if you are only in one or two dances, you don't get to know the people that are outside of your practice times, right? So that's your opportunity to kind of get to know everyone who's performing with you. And we've done some really cool bonding things during Tech Week. Like I know one semester we had like a Y2K themed show, and we all made bracelets like during our downtime, so we all just got to goof off. Yeah, that'll probably be my answer for my best memory. It's just every single Tech Week we've had, especially since it can be kind of a nerve-wracking time and stressful time for people putting the show together, and two, for people getting ready to perform in front of an audience who may be a little nervous. Just having the group there to support them, I've seen that be so fun. So yeah, that's probably my favorite memory is just the grind. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could not agree more. My two favorite aspects of being in UNYK are the Tech Weeks that we perform together. We start on Sunday night, and then this is like the first time that you're seeing the other dances that you're not a part of, and you're in the crowd, you're yelling for them, you're cheering them on, you're like, oh my gosh, yes, that hip hop was phenomenal. And you're just absolutely the community. And like Emily said, you're there for like 4 hours every night. It's grueling, especially if you're a choreographer or you're in multiple dances. It can be really stressful, but multiple times, like if one person is going out to go get food, they'll say to anyone that's near them, hey, I'm going to McDonald's, what do you want? And like, it's either Venmo me or I got you. And it creates a sense of community that we're all about. You know, we're in this together. It's completely student run. So without the support of each other, dancers and exec, then we wouldn't be able to put on this phenomenal show that we have. And the exec meetings are a laugh, because it's just in like not like to make fun at all, but definitely in like the laugh of, we love coming together, and we'll spend like a good 15 minutes just talking to each other and catching up. Not even talking about UNYK in general, but just like, oh my gosh, how are you doing? How are classes? I know you had that exam. How'd that exam go? And we definitely value each other more on a personal, individual basis than like, oh, you're a part of this dance. Like, I see you on this level only. We always make sure that our dancers are taking care of themselves mentally and physically first and foremost. We definitely care more about mental health than, rigidity. So that aspect also really helps. But gosh, this Tech Week was phenomenal. And the show and the crowd it's very rewarding.
We had the biggest turnout I think we've ever had this semester.
Oh my gosh, like the crowd was singing along, and they were shouting and whooping for like all of our dancers, and it's a very rewarding feeling, because we work our butts off all semester putting this show together, and then just to see it come out so phenomenally, it was beautiful.
Yeah, and just to kind of even touch on that, it's like you said, you guys practice a lot. It's hours, turns into days, turns into weeks before each and every show, which also, like, being in this dance class, I only have the dance class for an hour, and I'm typically exhausted. It's like, man. And then it's like, I'd imagine members of UNYK practicing for 3 to 4 hours a day, maybe, and then on top of the shows, that must be exhausting. And like you said, some dancers might be a part of multiple, like, dance routines, which I don't have the brain capacity to remember the choreography that might be behind the first dance compared to, like, the sixth dance. That's not how I think. Shout out to the members of UNYK who can remember all of that, because I don't think I could, or at least with how I think as I am today. But my next question is, this is kind of similar, already kind of been touched on, but how would you say UNYK has influenced your experience here?
Oh, that's a good question. I think for me, it really was a fundamental jumping off point for me having the self-confidence to put myself out there and get involved in other things. So I'm not involved in too many other things that are not like jobs or like I'm a part of like global engagement team, which runs like on-campus events. So I don't get paid for that, but it does run quite a bit like a job. So along with giving me that self-confidence, I think UNYK is also just a space that is one of my only extracurriculars where I just come there and have fun. And it's really transformed me, I think, in the sense that I now know that I can do so much more than I thought I could do. I know I mentioned before that I went to a dance school, but I was a classically trained ballet dancer, and I had no confidence whatsoever in like any other type of dance, because when you don't have that like versatility growing up, like I was like, I can do this one specific subset of things, but other than that, I look like an awkward giraffe, like or that's how I felt, for the first like year or so. And to have people consistently uplifting you and consistently telling you, hey, you look good doing this. And if you don't feel confident about it, hey, let me pull you to the side and let me show you how to do it, and we'll figure out how to do it in a way that makes you feel comfortable. And then just seeing the fruit of all your labor, I think, has been such a joyful experience. And I don't think we've mentioned this yet, but Marissa and I also were both part of the exec board for 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, just being able to be in that leadership position and to see people who are younger than me going through that same journey that I went through is so rewarding, because knowing that we were able to create that space for them it's the best. Yeah.
Well, first of all, Emily, you are one of the best dancers I have ever encountered in my entire life. And I want to make that incredibly clear. But second of all, being co-secretaries really... you have to work together to make it work, and that was one of the best jobs I've ever had, especially communication, and it was so much fun. And that's why I kept coming to UNYK. It was very gratifying and wholesome, and you challenge yourself in ways that you haven't been challenged before, so you make sure that you're not letting down the people around you, and you build up from each other. Bottom line, I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for UNYK. It completely redefined my experience here at Augustana. I wasn't just here for academics anymore, but I was here to dance and support and exert myself in a way that I haven't done before, ever, in my whole life. I tried being a classical ballet dancer when I was very young, and it didn't take. But being able to express myself in a way that other people support you in, and they see you, and if you're struggling, like Emily said, they will hype you up. And that's the only reason that UNYK is as successful as we are, is because we help each other, we support each other, and I feel like I've become a better person just by knowing these phenomenal human beings, these phenomenal dancers, and then coming together as a group and just showing off our skills that we've been working on.
I understand. I really just have 2 more questions. The first of the final 2 I'm going to ask you is, how would you say that you've grown from your freshman year till your senior year, whether it be like through like UNYK or kind of just outside it, whatever perspective you want to take?
Sure.
Yeah, I actually went through a few phases over the past 4 years. When I first came in to Augustana, I was very unsure of myself. And I was one of the kids in class that would always talk a lot because, I wanted to be heard and I had a lot of good ideas and teachers liked that. But I grew into someone that I know I'm comfortable with and I don't second guess myself because I trust who I am. And UNYK has had a part to play in that, that confidence. You put yourself on stage in front of people, and we tell each other all the time that if you mess up on stage, make it look intentional. And that applies to my life outside of UNYK, is that I am who I am. I'm not going to deny that. High school was high school, but college has really evolved me to be more aware of myself and my surroundings. And I know for a fact that I couldn't have done it without UNYK or Augustana, or the people, more specifically, the people that I've met at Augustana have shown me that I am who I am, and I have grown to love who I am. And that's a super important transformation that I don't think I would have achieved outside of Augustana.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear that. I feel like we have a lot of conversations, but we haven't had this I didn't know that about you. So
really?
Thanks for sharing that.
Yay!
Yeah, so I get to learn something about you too. For me, I think I was definitely more of a quieter kid coming into college, and I had a really rough first semester. My roommate transferred away. I didn't really know where I was going, what I was doing, and then COVID hit. So rough first year. And yeah, Augustana has been a completely transformative experience for me as well. I didn't believe in self-love before I came to college. I truly do stand by the phrase that says you can't love others until you love yourself, because so I did not know, and I didn't even know that I didn't know this, but I did not know what love and care was until I started having that for myself and having enough self-esteem to be okay, here is how I can pour into myself, and that has manifested so beautifully into the way I pour into others. And yeah, UNYK and just other Augie communities that I've been a part of have been so instrumental in that as well, because that teaches me, I think, what community can look like when you invest in it. And yeah, so I'd say just from a general sense, I'm more prepared to take on the world than I ever have been. But yeah, I've learned how to both love myself and how to effectively care for others, which is what I ultimately want to do in my career and just in my life. So yeah, it's been completely transformative. Yeah.
The final question I wanted to ask is, which I'm going to ask one of these kind of questions. If you had to maybe pick a word to describe your experience here at Augustana, what word would you pick?
That's a tough one. I can only use one word. Okay.
You can use a few if you want.
Okay.
I think I will go with two small phrases.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'll just combine them. Seize new opportunities. High school was high school, and your passions might have helped you become who you were in high school, but my main goal for college, which is a whole new ballpark, it's a whole new game. You want to try things that you've never done before, but you want to do. And just like Emily was saying, self-love, it's focusing on yourself and focusing on how you fit within a community and loving who you are. It's your high school or your past doesn't define you if you don't want it to. You can come into college and start new things, try new things. I didn't think of myself as a dancer. I didn't think of myself as all these things that I now define myself as until I tried it. And I failed a few times. And of course that hurt, but you keep going and you keep finding opportunities, whether it be a Zoom call, whether it be an email that was sent to you, whether it be, you know, an Instagram post about this new club, something that you want to try. Don't let fear or anxiety stop you from trying those new things, because college is about redefining yourself. And if you can't seize those opportunities, you know, there might be only one shot. So give anything and everything a try, you know, within a reasonable comfort zone.
I understand. And to answer my own question briefly or quick, I would just say to just be unapologetically yourself. Like, I understand that from freshman year, in my case, junior year, I'm not exactly the same person. I like to think I'm the same laid back type of person. I know from every class I'm in, I'm definitely, by silly, I mean like I make a lot of jokes. I just feel like I'm the type of person to bring a little humor, because I understand everyone has their own things that they go through. But like, even if they're like, man, that one guy, Jaren, he said something really weird in class, but it was funny. But that's just me, who I am. I'm a silly person, but I like to think I'm laid back. And I won't apologize for being myself, because I think it's important to have the self-love, like the two of you mentioned, and to be yourselves.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, my thing goes right along with that. I was going to say self-discovery. That's kind of it.
100%.
Yeah. Because as much as I will be a proponent for investing yourself in community and like caring for others as though they're yourself, I think at the end of the day, like, you're going to be yourself, and people are either going to accept you or they're not going to. And you just learn a lot about yourself in college. And it's such, like Marissa said, there's such a plethora of opportunities available to you. And you're kind of right at the right age to explore it all. So yeah, Augustana has been a lot of self-discovery for me, which has been, you know, joyful and painful, but good. So, yeah.
Well, I'm really happy that both of you have enjoyed like your time here at Augustana, and will continue to enjoy for the next month until the day
1 month
that you walk across the stage. Is there any other maybe closing thoughts that the two of you had that want to share, or both okay?
I mean, thanks for the opportunity for us to get to share about like our experiences and about UNYK and all
Absolutely.
Of that.
We were just talking about how we can gush about UNYK anytime, any day, because it has been such a pivotal moment in both of our lives, and it's brought us the friends that we know, and it's made us the people that we are, and I wouldn't change that for the world.
Yeah.
Anytime, and I'm glad, you know, I can be here to listen, to learn more. I wanted to thank you both for your time.
Thank you.
I know I sent an email at an awkward time, but thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Absolutely.
And, have a good rest of your day to the both of you.
You as well.
Thank you all for tuning into this week's edition of the Augustana Observer Podcast. I also want to thank Marissa and Emily for joining me today. I'm your host, Jaren Smith, and I'll see you next time.